Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Mark with The Better Mark, and let's break down this Monday, March 18th, the NBA slate. We have 8 contests coming at you hot, all right, as we wait for the kickoff of the March Madness. That tournament has been set. We just did our full bracket breakdown where I give you guys my analysis, and I fill out an entire bracket with my thoughts. All right, so if you guys want to check that video out, at the end there will be a link towards the end when we get to the credits where it'll show a link pop up on your screen, and that will take you over there if you want to get involved within my bracket breakdown. Okay, but let's hit this 8-game slate and let's get it going. All right, so for those of you that have not done so already, make sure you guys all subscribe down below. Smash that like button as well. But I thank you guys for all coming out and supporting the channel, and let's get down into it. Okay, so first we're going to go out to the great state of Indiana, where the Cavaliers are taking on the Indiana Pacers. Cavaliers have a swarm of injuries. Strus is out, I believe. Donovan Mitchell's out. Mobley's out. And one where the Pacers are looking to cover a 6.5 out there if you're able to find it with BetMGM. That's probably the best number you're going to find. The FanDuel is offering 7.5 as well as BetRivers. So if you're liking the Pacers, obviously BetMGM is showing the best number. And conversely, if you do back the Cavs with the 7, make sure you go get that hook out there using FanDuel, where more of the bets are coming in on the Cavs, but it's just too fishy for me. Without Mitchell, Cavaliers are a different team as expected, and the Pacers really haven't been that team where I'm confident enough day in and day out when they're going to show up and actually ball out. So this will be a no play for me. All right. Next, we're going to go out to Boston, and this is one where you look at the Celtics and this number climbing. My gosh, I think it opened at 12, if I'm not mistaken, against the Pistons. The Boston Celtics had another blowout recently, day off, I believe, too, and the one where their starters, I think, played only a full half. So they're going to be fully rested. The Pistons are in absolute tank mode. And this is one where I hate to say it, but I'm kind of leaning towards taking the Boston Celtics minus 16. I know it's a huge number, and it's something where you look at it and it's kind of like, gosh, they have to win by 20 to cover a spread. Well, I will tell you this: they don't set these numbers for nothing. So we are seeing a huge amount of the money come in on the Pistons. That's more so probably in a sheer form of value. The chances of not being able to get a backdoor is very slim to none. But when we look at Boston, they win by an average of 15-plus points at home. When we look at some of the average margin, this is something where you look at the games that Detroit has been on. It's been a rough stretch, but Boston, like I said, barely had to play against Washington at all. And that's something where Boston has been absolutely a savage team when they play people at home. It's something where 6 of their last 7 have been by 15 plus at home. So that's hence why we're seeing this huge number. Like I said, I would be leaning towards taking that 16. I think that number is right on the money, but you could see the bettors out there are taking the value within Detroit as 83% of the money, despite 21% of the betting splits are on the Celtics. Okay. So next, we're going to go out to Miami, Philadelphia. That is one where we're seeing a first official play. We're going to be taking the Heat in this spot. The Heat getting 2.5. One where we're going to be taking that 2.5. And actually, I do want to actually get on the side of the money line as well. I'm not scared and opposed to taking a money line right now. If we look at what that current number is, you can see that best number out there is plus 120, bet 365. So if you want to get on board with a money line play, but let's just take the 2.5, keep it simple, and hopefully we can get that done outright. But the 2.5 presents some value. We know what's going on with the Heat, and this is a play basically on the fact that Jimmy Butler may not play. But I do like the Heat because I think that Philadelphia really will struggle without Joel Embiid against Bam Adebayo and company, regardless if Jimmy Butler plays. Okay, so that'll be a first official play. All right. Next, Portland traveling to Chicago. This is one where Portland seems to be taking all the action, but it's one where we look into this game. Chicago's banged up, and we look at the likes of, Alex Caruso's questionable, Kobe White's questionable, so on and so forth. Lonzo Ball's remained out, and we see this number creep up around as low as 7.5, but we're seeing 8s pretty much across the board as that consensus number. And the lean would be to take the Trailblazers, but it's ugly. The Trailblazers are in tank mode. They have their own injury concerns. I personally would like the Bulls in this spot, and I actually would favor the under 213 if we're going to get on a side in total. So it would be a lean towards the Trailblazers and the under. Kind of a little correlating play along the road, but that's where I am on that. No official play in that contest, though. Okay, next, Minnesota taking on the Utah Jazz, and this is one where kind of getting into the same narrative, right? It's health. It's right now this time of year. It's all about the health and the injury concerns is what we're looking at. And Utah has been that kind of Jekyll and Hyde team. They had a really strong showing in the first half of the season, and after the All-Star break, they've been one of the teams that I really can't figure out, and I actually kind of stay away from them because they've been winning in spots they shouldn't be, and they've been pretty much losing every other single game. But this contest was recently played a couple days ago on the 16th, and Utah was able to get it done at home 119 Minnesota was able to get it done at home 119 to 100. Minnesota's been playing some very, very good basketball. And we look at their injury report. Karl Anthony Towns remains out, but we're seeing questionable tags within Rudy Gobert, Kyle Anderson, and Monte Morris. Okay, but within the Jazz, conversely, Jordan Clarkson has been out with a groin, and Lauri Markkanen, which is their key in all things Jazz, questionable as well with an injury. So we're seeing this number creep up a little bit, up to 8.5. We can see it at BetMGM. So if you like the Jazz, that's obviously the outlet that I would be using to take that plus 8.5. But for me, this is a Minnesota -8 or no play. I think the number is right on the head where it needs to be, unless we get some shocking injury concerns. But I also would lean towards the over if we're going to pick a side. I think this is where you look at these numbers, and the last contest was 119-100, and from all accounts, it was looking in that last contest, it was going to sail over that 220 mark. So would be a lean towards the over. All right, but no play officially. Knicks Warriors. This is another one where we're going to have an official play in this contest. I kind of don't understand the line, to be honest. I see a lot of value. This actually would be a multi-unit play, taking the Golden State Warriors in a money line, and I'm actually looking to find a dance partner. This is one where I don't really have any problem taking the Warriors and matching them with the Boston Celtics and a little two-team parlay or just something like that to buy these odds down, because I do think Golden State gets it done outright. And right now, as we look at the money lines, you can see the lowest on the board is flashing a -175. There was a -160 out there earlier when I was looking at this last night, but this is one where I like two plays in this contest. First one is we're going to be taking Golden State on the money line, and I do like the fact that, and I'm actually comfortable with that 4.5. If you can find the fours out there, that's what we're going to be laying, the -4 within Bet Rivers and Hard Rock. Okay, but my main play in this contest, not just taking Golden State at the side at home, but it is going to be one where we take the under 212.5. You can find that out on FanDuel right now. That will be my favorite play in this contest, especially with 70% of bets on the over. We'll look at the last fives within New York, within Golden State. Golden State's been scoring a lot of points, but the Knicks get in straight slowdown mode. And it's funny to note, though, in the last 5 games, the only team to score over 100 points when facing the Knicks has been the Portland Trail Blazers. And in the last 5 games, the Knicks team totals has been 98, 105, 106, 73, and 98. So the chances of the Warriors getting over 100 points is there, but they also play some very good defense at home. So I'm looking for some value. I know it's a low number. A lot of times, kind of a strategy I deploy is going away from the public in these spots. When you have these low totals, don't be scared to take the unders, because everybody else says, oh my gosh, that's a low total, and everybody jumps on you over. Well, those totals are low for a reason, and more times than not, the under is going to cash. And the same thing works for high point totals if you're going to take the over. If you see a 250 out there, 257 total, sometimes that's a little different, because that is suggesting, more public bettors take the overs. It's more fun of a bet. So it's a little bit different taking it over. The NBA average, I think, is 237 in every game, if I'm not mistaken, or 227. But this is one where it's just a strategy I deploy from time and time again, just fading the public sides. Okay, so those will be my two other official plays within the Warriors -4 and the under 212.5. Okay. Next, Memphis traveling over and taking on Sacramento. This will be an official play as well, where we're going to be taking Sacramento -9.5. It's a big number. I think they get it done by margin, by double digits. It's big for a reason. And Memphis is having a storybook of injuries. I would name them all, but I'd probably get my sore throat would get a little worse because it is a list that is quite long. Okay, so who they actually roll out against the Kings is what scares me. The number is 9.5 for a reason, and the Kings, by all accounts, with the exception of Trey Lyles, is a healthy ball club, coming off of rest as well, losing a close one against Oklahoma City, losing by 6. But it does alarm me with it. I'm sorry, that was Memphis. My apologies. But Sacramento losing to the New York Knicks 98-91 in their last time out on March 16th. Both teams are rested, having a day off with rest. The Kings are at home. I like them in this spot. I like them for a bounce back game. We saw Sacramento being able to beat the Lakers 120-107. Okay. And I think they get the job done with margin. Potentially winning by 15 plus would be where I would actually have this number if I was to make it myself, within the Sacramento Kings -9.5. So that's my fourth official play. Okay, and then last game on the card, Atlanta Hawks traveling on a back-to-back to play the Los Angeles Lakers. No play for me. If anything, it'd probably be a lean towards taking the Hawks +8.5. They had a strong showing against the Clippers. They're 30-37 on the year with Trae Young out. Dejounte Murray seems to be balling at a different level. Truly like this ball club. I think they're going to be a scary out if they can somehow find their groove. And the Lakers 36-32. You just never know. They're going to be into the playoffs. It's something where they're going to be jockeying for position, but how much do they care down the stretch? LeBron's at that point in career where he doesn't really care about draft picks, so they're not concerned with where they end up in terms of that. So it's more or less getting ready for that postseason play, and health and where he's at on his day-to-day is what his major concern is. So on any given day, he's not going to play, or Anthony Davis isn't going to play, but off a day of rest at home, I do feel like those guys suit up, and that's why we're seeing the 8.5s out there in the market. So no official play, but I just wanted to give you guys those four. Those are my four official plays within tonight's card. Also, I would tell you that I would have if I was to give you guys a fifth play, it would go chalky. I would be taking the Boston if that goes down. If there's a little bit of buyback on that 16, and we could get at that opening number of 15, but at 16.5, it's just getting a little bit out of control for me. But that would be my fifth play if I wanted to give you guys a total of 5. So we're going to see for some buyback out there and wait later in the evening. If we see that number drop, I might be going on the side of the Celtics. So wanted to lend you guys all my sides, my totals, and my leans for this 18th of March on the NBA card. Hope you guys are all doing well. Gearing up for the March Madness. Like I said, after I get done talking, there will be a link. You can go check out my March Madness full breakdown and analysis if you guys have not already watched it. But I appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe down below on your way out. Thank you once more, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.